Okay, we're live. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back for the after vacation party that we're having because I had a vacation, and I kind of feel like I'm still on in a way. I really don't feel like I'm actually off of it. But anyways, first things first. Make sure that we are live. Make sure this is actually going to where it's supposed to go. I haven't done this for a week, so I have no idea what I'm doing here. Hi, everybody in the live chat. Let me know you can hear me, and make sure we can hear Chesh. Welcome back. Hey, hi. Hey,
Hello! I hope everything was well on your vacation and you had a good time.
oh my God, it was the best. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to like fully articulate just how amazing and wonderful it was, but I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a rundown on it here soon. But first things first, I'm actually drinking Red Bull this morning. I'm not having coffee. I bought a couple of these the other day, didn't get a chance to drink them, so I'm having one now. I drank the other one on the way back from a 6-hour trip because I took a very long way back from LAX to where I'm at. It took me half the time to get up there and about twice as long to get back. So it was a very, very long journey. So let's kind of dive into this. First, you had something that you wanted to actually do on the Urban Dictionary as far as our our definitions that we do. And I have something that really relates to this quite well that I know you're going to like. And I'm going to read something for you guys. She hasn't, and I haven't done this for Cheshire yet. She hasn't seen this yet. This is brand new.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Hopefully I sound a little bit better now. Hopefully I fixed that. I was getting an echo and a lot of reverb, so I just switched my settings around. Hopefully we're good to go.
Yeah, I hear no echo, no reverb. You sound wonderful to me. Everything sounds wonderful to me. I'm so elated. I'm relaxed. I'm rested. I just feel revitalized. Reset. Like that's the perfect way to put it. I feel reset. Like everything that's happened over the last 3 months has just been totally nullified. And I feel like a new person a little bit for a while at least.
Can you check the NDI and see if you've got me coming?
I do not have you in the NDI. They're all shut. But let me see if there's any other NDI open. All right, try that one. It's not NDI, but I had another audio source coming in.
Are we good to go now? Also, hi Uni, it's good to see you.
Hi Uni. Okay, I should be gone.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Awesome. We got it. All right, so today we're going to cover white knighting. So I'm going to read off...
Perfect. Trust me.
So I'm going to read off 3 definitions from Urban Dictionary because, of course, we're using an Urban Dictionary for this specifically because we're using how they're used colloquially, how these terms are used in stupid Twitter arguments. So, a white knight. 1. A man who stands up for a woman's rights to be an absolute equal, but then steps up like a white knight to rescue her anytime that equality becomes a burden. 2 is a man who promotes gender equality, but practices special privilege for women. Not bad.
They're decent. No, I think it was pretty accurate.
This one's a little bit more intensive. A person with low self-esteem who combats this with an unwavering need to aid others who may or may not need it. They usually have very isolated personal lives as they are very judgmental of others, surrounding themselves only with those who feed their desire to help and feel as a savior. Most commonly cited in young men. In regards to women, this is only a lesser form as it usually is only temporary, fading with life experience. More serious cases can occur in correlation with chronic self-esteem problems where the person needs to maintain a high view of themselves through self-righteous acts of kindness. These people enjoy surrounding themselves with troubled individuals who form a farm which is harvested for what they use as pseudo-self-esteem.
I'm going to... one sec. A couple people had some volume issues. Okay, so hopefully that'll work.
Nope. Man, usually I'm...
Yeah, no, your mic is like...
I can turn it up.
No, I can turn it up. That way you don't have your gain there. All right. If by the way, if some echo comes around, let me know because I've adjusted her.
We went on vacation. We had it down, and then Steve went on vacation, and now we got to start again.
So, I mean, so that definition of white knighting is pretty accurate as far as what I've seen. People that tend to white knight think that they're actually doing a service to like women, trying to protect them. Now I understand the code of chivalry. I like to be chivalrous. I think chivalry is not dead. I don't think chivalry is offensive. I know that I got into something with the feminist next door, who, by the way, blocked me for whatever reason, because she felt that, I guess, a guy holding a door open for a woman is sexist, which I think is just asinine, to say the least. But because the logic on that would be, to me, you have two options: either you hold the door open for a woman or you don't. Right? It's a binary choice, correct, Jess? So now you're mute. Now you're muted on your end.
I muted myself.
Yeah, she did that. That wasn't me.
I made it in chat.
But it's either one or the other. You do or you don't, right?
Yeah, you either do or you don't.
Okay, so
a lot of the times it also depends on like the culture that you like. In Canada, it's common to hold the door open for the person behind you, to the point where it gets awkward if somebody's a little bit too far away, and you kind of have to make that judgment so things don't get awkward, because then the person kind of has to jog.
Totally agree. Totally. But it is still a binary thing. Either you do or you don't. Like, let's say we take option 2. You don't hold the door open. Wow, you're an asshole. That's just being impolite, right? I mean, I would close it at that, right? You're just being impolite or an asshole if you don't hold the door open for somebody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the other option is that you hold the door open for them. Now you're sexist. So you have the choice of either being sexist or an asshole. This is how some of these feminists think, and it just boggles my mind that they don't see the problem there. You know?
Yeah. It's a damned if you do. It's a catch-22. Yeah. Damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of a situation. But realistically, what it should be is it only becomes like, oh, you're being sexist if you're holding the door open because they're a woman, not to be polite.
And even then, I don't find that to be sexist either.
Well, it's sexist. It's just not necessarily a bad thing. It is sexist. You're doing something because of somebody's gender.
No, because it's sexist if there's something against you. If you a sexist would be, I'm going to hold the door open. Well, I'm going to hold the door open for just men because I'm clicking with men, but I'm not going to open it for a woman because she can open her own goddamn door because she's weak and screw her. That may be kind of sexist.
It doesn't have. The thing is that sexist currently is being used as such a negative term, and that it's such a bad thing all of the time. That is not necessary, but that's not necessarily the case. That's just how we're using the term right now. Sexist, it doesn't necessarily say whether it's right or wrong. Sexist is just saying you're doing something based on.
I would say
you made a decision because of somebody's gender.
I don't agree. I would say it's sexist if I say, hey, Cheshire is approaching the door. She's too weak to open that door because she's a woman. And women, they're just not muscular. She's just so effeminate that she can't even figure out. She's not even bright enough to figure out how to open that damn door. It says pull and she pushes. That's Cheshire. That's going to be something along those lines of sexist, right? The intent of there is to be such that, I'm diminishing you. That I could definitely see. But to say, hey, I respect for women and I want to show my respect and honor for them by opening the door for them, that's not sexism. Not by any means. But the white knight comes in and thinks that for some reason they need to defend women, when most of the time women find that very offensive because they are quite capable of taking care of their own and handling their own business. And by the way, if you don't let them handle their own business, at least give them an opportunity or first, you're going to be the one that looks like an asshole, right? I mean, you trust me on this. I've seen it happen just recently, and I'll be reading something very shortly of exactly that happening on one of Unirock's videos, actually. It wasn't by Unirock, by the way, just his video. He wasn't the one being sexist. So out there.
Okay, well, by this definition, out of curiosity, Unirock recently did a video where he was covering some people, and he spent a little bit of the time because the person started attacking me, my looks, and a bunch of other stuff about me that they couldn't possibly know. And during that video, he was like, no, I'm not going to let you say this. This is bullshit. Was that sexist?
No.
I would say no. 1, because I wasn't there. 2, because he didn't do it because I was a woman. He did it because he was calling out bullshit. Even if he didn't actually, even if he hadn't have interacted with me before and knew that this kind of stuff wasn't true and was like, hey, wait a minute, I know this person, you're full of shit. He still might have done this even without that extra knowledge, because then the argument would be like, I don't know this person, and you said you don't know this person, so how are you making these claims about this person? This is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, you could defend a friend, right? I mean, regardless of your gender or sex or whatever, you're still Unirock's friend, or at least he considers you to be an ally or on that side of the fence of people that he knows. So, I mean, if people say inappropriate things about you that, especially that he knows are incorrect, he has every right to stand up. I mean, just like he would for anybody else. Right. But that's not what a white knight kind of does. White knight, for example, I'll give you a perfect example of white knight.
Unirock said he would definitely defend me if I had a pee-pee.
He's a respectful
There you
guy.
go.
I think he's a chivalrous guy. So he and I probably a lot like that in that regard. But on one of his videos, these two guys, I'm going to call them out. I don't care. HD and Acquiring Minds, I believe their names were. Had left some really kind of cringy comments about me having pictures with Sweet Heathen, something along the lines that I was objectifying her. And I'm like, first of all, I don't think they understand that some women may like to be objectified, especially when they've had low self-esteem issues or been in bad relationships. And for them to try to just assume that objectification has automatically is ill received or has bad connotations to them is exactly what white knighting is. And so I kind of told them, hey, why are you trying to, bash on our friendship, our
Your
relationship?
time.
Yeah, whatever. We're really good friends.
Every
but
party has a pooper.
But why try to destroy that we had on our vacation, right? I'm like, I don't understand why you're trying to bring people down because you're miserable, you're envious, whatever. But you know what? Let Ashley speak for herself, right? By the way, Ashley is Sweet Heathen. That's not doxing name. So I just read this a few minutes ago. I just literally got it. Ashley responded. Now it doesn't show.
I haven't heard this yet. I can't.
She hasn't heard it yet. Unirock, by the way, I think you might have Sweet Heathen on a filter, or her comment didn't get approved, so it's not showing yet. So if you can figure out why it's not showing, let me know. But I'm going to read this because this is fucking brilliant, to be honest with you. And I'm not just pandering to Ashley. I like the way she writes. I've told her this. One of the reasons why I was even attracted to begin with is I like the way she puts things in writing and words and just relates her feelings in word form. It's just you just kind of feel what she's writing, and I find that to be very, very fascinating and just enthralled by that.
It looks like it just needed to be approved.
Awesome. All right, so here you go. And by the way, I'm gonna let Cheshire kind of review this from a feminist point of view. Okay, cool.
Let's go.
All right,
let's go.
She says, "HD et al. Coming to my defense. Thank you, but also F off. You guys have absolutely no idea what you're talking about and are making some really messed up assumptions that are frankly extremely insulting to me and women in general. I have a feeling that if he was excited and mentioning vacation with a respected male, these accusations wouldn't be flying. Does he mention my looks? Occasionally, but oh no, I'm so hurt and offended by the compliments." It's my, winky, what's the face with the two eyes going that way? No, the sarcasm look.
Oh, the eye rolly.
Yeah, I had to put this in Notepad because she sent it to me to a Facebook IM, and because it wasn't show up on the video, so I had to port it over. Anyways, she says, "I've been around a good while and supported and befriended some good people who treated Steve and some others like shit, and then tossed us aside under the same bus when we disagreed with their tactics. Some gaslit and attacked me as ignorant, some sort of tool, when all I've ever done was speak my own mind. Yeah, I have one of those. People I trusted and confided in didn't hesitate to throw it all away. So you think Steve is tooting his own horn, stroking his massive ego? Newsflash, he's toting and stroking mine, or at worst, doing both. And hey, it's up to me to be bothered by that, not you, and I'm not in the least. I'll stroke of his whatever I want to, and it's none of anybody's business, and quote, porking, inquiring mind, really, and quote grow the hell up. You've made me feel so much more uncomfortable and objectifying this thread than Steve ever has. Steve has that's burn.
Ooh.
This is what I'm saying. I don't need to speak for her. She's quite eloquent. So far so good. So far so good, Chesh. Okay. I have yet to read the comments. I have to go back to the live chat on this. Steve has consistently spoken for the fans / investors who got screwed by greedy, manipulative twits and opportunistic professional victims who happily took our money and support until we didn't follow lockstep with their agenda and actions. And not that it's any of your business, but I've been through quite a bit of abuse in my life with my share of knife wounds in the back. So some recent events have beat me down more than perhaps some others. I took the time to get to know Steve, and after countless candid conversations and relating to each other's struggles, we became friends. I was not put up to the trip. I was not paid to do it. I was not manipulated or used. I went enthusiastically, and Steve knows when he mentioned how excited he was to meet me, it made me happy. He reminded me he's reminding people he has a life outside of the internet, and he's making it more of a priority now because it was long overdue, and we, in capital letters, we both deserved it, as do others, I'm sure. Also, reminding those who try to hurt us that they lost the war and we, and all others, will be just fine moving forward. Now, having met him in person, I can tell you he's a real down-to-earth human being. There are so many dimensions to people you don't just see through the computer screen. I was treated with respect and never felt the least bit unsafe or uncomfortable. That's because she broke out of the shackles really easy. I tried, but she's like ambidextrous or something. I don't know.
She's better at this than you are.
Yes. I need to buy better duct tape. The entire super strand industrial. The entire trip did wonders for me that I can't even articulate. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait. I was sad it was over so soon, and I hope to see him again someday as we discuss potential plans. The entire trip was wondrous, did wondrous things for me, and I can't even articulate. Y'all view his actions through your chipped lens, and continue making assumptions based upon cow crap, and you wonder why people get cranky. And she says, there's more.
There's more.
All that aside, he mentioned me here because I was literally sitting next to him. We were discussing the stream and browsing comments. He even said I said hi, which I told him to say when he read your comment out loud because I was recognizing the name. And I told you, HD, I would report back as a woman of my word, so impatient, tisk. Technically, if she was laying next to me, we'll go with that.
Technicality.
He didn't drag me into a damn thing ever. Not once has he mentioned my name in a way that I felt inappropriate. So just cut it out with me and any other female he associates with. If he is out of line, you will hear it from us firsthand. We have voices we know how to use. We don't need you to deciding what is and isn't okay with for the best of us. If it continues, it's clearly not coming from a noble place. I hope this is clarified. P.S. I would have responded sooner, but I was focusing on the amazing time I was having. I exist in a world before this one. There you go. Yeah. Now. Well said. So, what is your view on that? Well, I actually kind of go back and read the comments on here.
What this sounds like to me is, besides that Sweet is more than capable of standing up for herself, she has a way with words and is clearly a wonderful person. These people who are the people that she was responding to was what, HD and Inquiring Minds?
Yeah.
These people now, maybe I'm at a line. I'm doing a little bit of speculation here, which I can probably verify if I wanted to go ahead back and do that. And I think just because of some background information I have that I won't share here, these sound like people who have attempted to use women around men that they wanted to get at before. Like, this sounds like something that they've tried to do and manipulate women to get to the men that they're close to. That's what that sounds like to me. This sounds like the type of people who are absolutely trying to use a woman to try and speak for them, and Sweet's just not having any of it. Sweet's just like, no, I'm not an idiot. You can't use me that way. I'm not going to let you weaponize me.
And that's a good way of putting it. That seems like what they were trying to do is weaponize
against Steve. They were trying to weaponize Sweet against Steve, assuming she wouldn't be able to speak for herself. And then she just turned around and basically just double slapped them both.
And I told them that's probably what she's going to end up doing. I hate to say it, but I know her pretty well as far as, why? Because I actually listened to her. I know, right? But these guys don't know these people. They don't listen. They don't know the situation, and they jump to conclusions merely because they want, as you said, either weaponize her or to just attack me. And yet all that does is show that how cringe they are. Well,
yeah, it's both. It looks like, it's from the comments, from what was said, it looks like they both tried to weaponize a woman to get to a man, assuming that woman either wouldn't say anything, wouldn't see it, or is just too passive to do anything. Or that they could manipulate her into actually thinking that was the case, which it seems like these people might have done in the past.
It could have been both, because I think they were like, Sweet's really sweet and naive, and I don't think she really will be able to see the true Steve, and, he's just manipulating her. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? She is like one of the most independent, you can tell by her writing, she's not somebody to be trifled with. I understand this. I'm not going to piss her off because I'm not stupid, right? But they have no idea what they're messing with.
I would like to call 911 and report a murder. Hello? Godless Scummer for 5 says, sorry I was late to the parade today. 50 push-ups for me. Hashtag smob. Hashtag troll army. Hashtag smug life. Hashtag drill sergeant Chesh.
Did you do your calisthenics today?
Today, no, I did not.
Well, anyways,
I did put out marching orders. I put them out last night because I knew today I wasn't really going to be able to. Or today I wasn't going to be able to anyway, and then I got put in Twitter jail, so now I can't anyway.
Well, that's a good segue for that. Actually, you know what? Let's move into that real quick. We never do these things in order anyway, so that was a good segue.
Hey!
I'm
in Twitter jail!
Anyways, we'll get back to the vacation stuff, but I just wanted to wrap it up on that white knighting stuff. Guys, know when the difference between when you're at white knighting, when you're actually standing up for a friend, or you're calling somebody out for stupid bullshit like Rock was doing, that's fine. But there's a distinction to be made. Know and recognize the difference, because if you're not, you're gonna end up like this guy HD. Yeah. You're gonna end up with this guy Inquirer Minds, who's just gonna be demeaning to women. And basically, I find what they wrote demeaning. I think they were demeaning to Ashley. But the difference is, I didn't need to stand up for her. I stood up for myself because I'm still gonna stand up for myself. I had a wonderful vacation. They're not gonna take that away from me. And if I want to post pictures of her and I together, you're goddamn right I will, because I'm thrilled by it, right? But I let her stand for herself.
Like exactly. You could have white knighted Sweet at that point and spoke for her. When you speak for someone, when you speak for a woman, that's when you start white knighting. That's when you've got. Now, if you support somebody and you back up their argument, or you back up what they're saying, or you have an argument about something, that's not white knighting. You're having an entirely separate discussion. If you go ahead and you speak for somebody because they're a woman, or because you think you can argue it better, or whatever your reasoning seems to be,
that's fine.
That's when you starting to speak for somebody. That's when you start getting into that white knighting territory.
Or worse, when I just say, "Hey, Chess, when I want your opinion, I'll give it to you." Okay.
Yeah.
Or Chess, when I want your opinion, I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Another reason men do that is in the hopes that women will like it, and it's a way to get close to them.
Yeah.
If you're being manipulative, guess what? You're probably not in the right. If you're being manipulative like that.
So I guess you and Sarah recently kind of been living on the edge, I guess, with Twitter.
We've been entertaining the EOT crowd.
And so are they blocking? Are they banning you, reporting you? Because you guys are in Twitter jail. You get your accounts banned. What's going on with that?
They're mass flagging us because they didn't like that we called them out on their bullshit. I mean, I'm actually kind of disappointed. I was expecting to get put in Twitter jail within a couple of hours. It took 2.5 days before they finally got me into Twitter jail. So essentially, I had passed on a message because they deplatformed Demi earlier. And so I passed a message on from her. Then they all took it out of context, tried to say it was a rape threat, and then it escalated to a death threat, whichever one you think might be worse, I don't know. I'm not going to discuss that. But they tried to say that, basically, Auntie sent a message saying that if you keep doing this, I'm going to fuck you. Which essentially was her talking about how I'm making a video about this, I'm going to expose you, da-da-da-da-da-da. She was just really aggressive in the way she wanted to say it. And now I'm not going to silence her voice, and I'm not going to change her message because I wouldn't word it that way, because I also did my own response. I responded on my own, and then I passed her message on. They didn't like that, took that out of context, and now they're posting the screenshot everywhere. Now that message is gone from me because I didn't have a choice but to remove it. Twitter doesn't give you an option. So the message from me, you won't be able to find it on mine because it's gone now. There's screenshots of it all over the place. But I would like to point out that the people who are screenshotting it and sharing it at this point are breaking Twitter's terms of service and can be reported for that. I'm not telling anybody to go mass flag them or anything like that. I'm just saying by passing around what they're deeming is a rape threat and passing around what they're deeming is a death threat would technically be the exact same thing that I did, and also would be against Twitter's terms and services. So if you see that, you're totally within your right to potentially flag that for what it is.
Now, okay, so this all blends together with Demi here, which another segue, but I want to get into that segue in a second here. For Super Chat real quick, if you want to read that one.
Yeah, that's Flappin for $9.99. Flappin! Glad to know I have disposable cash. I'll know it's going to where it's intended. 45% to Steve, 45% to Chesh, and 10% to my Lord and Savior Puck. Much love.
And
always sending money to my doggo.
And by the way, if people want to give her directly, all you gotta do is note it, and I'll make that happen. She gets paid after every show. By the way, I don't do this. Wait till the tax day. We'll figure out taxes if we need to.
Yeah,
but right now it's not that critical.
He passes things on at the end of the show. If anything, it gets sent to me.
So she gets taken care of.
Of course, that stuff will all be adjusted when we start some other thing that we may or may not be doing soon.
May or may not. Yeah, we're waiting on legal stuff right now, unfortunately. I did hear from the lawyer. He says by the end of the week we'll get more details. But anyways, Flap and Bob, thank you very much for that. I'm very appreciative.
And side note, let me know in the chat what you guys think. 1 for yes, 2 for no. This is just a side note. I was suggested when I did my cooking show and my takeover of... well, first off, I would like to say that I did a better job taking over Steve's channel than Kyle did because, 1, I actually took over the show and was entertaining. And 2, I even did a cooking episode.
Yeah, but I had to do your title. You forgot to actually titleized it. Yeah, so I didn't know what you were doing, but I came up with... I just put chesscraft, whatever.
Well, you didn't give me the information to get into the channel. You just gave me this.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
so
you should have told me before. Yeah.
Mr. P says, "Shut up, CB." Hi, Mr. P.
Mr. P. So,
1 in the chat for yes, 2 in the chat for no. I was suggested during that stream to make a Amazon wish list for Puck. I am willing to do that if you want to buy Puck things, but let me know if you actually want me to do this. So 1 in the chat for yes, 2 in the chat for no if you want to buy stuff for my dog.
well, he gave you some bucks for Puck. I'll figure out all the math is, but make sure you use that to actually buy him a Chewy toy or something. I'm down for that. So you guys, here's the thing. When it comes to Twitter, a lot of that's done automatically. A lot of that Twitter jail is what they do is the algorithm tries to look for certain words and how they're used and tries to be able to distinguish between somebody being harassing or being over the top with their insults rather than people using these terms more innocuously. Like, for example, if you call your friend a bitch and you're doing it lovingly, it doesn't know the difference between that. I think it tries to, but it just it really can't.
Well, I didn't fight. Yeah, I didn't appeal it or anything either because I was just like, there's no way that somebody from Twitter is actually going to go and look at this and look at the context and give a shit. It's just going to completely...
How long did you get?
It's, 12 hours.
12 hours. So, okay, in 12 hours. So basically Twitter jail means for 12 hours you can't add anymore. Nobody else besides your friends can read what you write. Now, there's different levels of I've just seen. Sometimes you can't post. Sometimes you can't DM. Which one did you get? Did you just you see your friends can't see it, or can you post?
I can still DM. I can't like anything.
Can't like anything. You're in the full.
I don't know if I can actually tweet. I haven't tried.
Now, Sarah Michelle, she got Twitter jail too, right?
No, I can't tweet.
Okay.
For 9 hours and 30 minutes.
See, Sarah's confusing because Sarah goes in between losing her account and Twitter jail. Like, she gets out of jail, she's like on probation.
Well, she got straight up IP banned, didn't she?
And then she got IP banned once. So I don't know what's going on with her. But I was wondering if these people are actually targeting you directly or it's the bot or both. I think it's probably both, to be honest with you. But
it's probably both. The thing is these people are just being complete hypocrites. They're perfectly fine to bully people. The thing that I had responded to was that somebody named Chrissy was posting. She basically said that Rachel Oates was just playing the victim and you guys are bullies. So she blamed the victim and then played the victim at the same time. I was just like, I'm sorry, what? You don't get to do that. And then I shit you not like 20 minutes, maybe an hour later, she said that she was out with her kids and was having a panic attack and trying to hide it, but people were giving her weird looks. And I was like, oh, so it's not okay for Rachel to play the victim here, but if you're having problems.
Was this Christiosity?
Yes.
Okay. We'll just dive into that directly, I guess. First, Roy puts up a comment here that actually makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm going to go with it because actually I think this makes sense, so I would believe this. Yep. But he wrote, you have to watch what you say, especially if the receipt has a blue check. There's a difference for rules for different people. That might be true as far as what they're willing to have if you say something to a blue check person, the algorithm might affect that differently. Brandy Bridges for $10 says Dr. Kate. I'll read this one. Dr. Yeah, I didn't either. Dr. Katie says, quote, "It sounds like sour grapes for these two boys. Boys nailed it." Yeah, well, you know what? People can be envious, and I even told people I'm out with a very beautiful woman that I happen to like, that's entertaining, that's articulate, that's. I mean, we never stopped talking. I mean, I think she was talking, 24/7, which was fine. I love conversation. And why should I not be appreciative of that? Why should I not show that off? Especially how low key that I have been for the last 3 years, and I actually got out with somebody for a change and had fun. I am thrilled to, and I have nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. So anybody that criticizes that, you guys are just looking like the assholes, not me for quote unquote objectifying Sweet or throwing a picture up there of me going, "Hey, I'm out with a beautiful woman." Yeah, so what?
There was one argument against me that I was just like, yeah, no, that's totally fair for posting what I had posted. And it was Sophane. Like Sophane and Fat Pat. Sophane came in and said, you know this makes you look like a complete asshole, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna argue that.
That's okay.
Like, listen, I'm totally like, if they're slinging shit, I am slinging shit back. I am not, you listen, there's something when it comes to, if you're gonna sling shit, you can't be a puss about it.
That's true.
If you're going to go ahead and say, oh, well, this person is this, and this person is that, and that person is this, then when somebody says, well, no, you're this, you can't get mad. You're puss.
You
puss.
can't, right. I mean, you have to be able to give what you receive, right? I mean, or receive what you can get, and give. And I've always known this, right? Now, I've kind of toned down from Twitter, Steve, a little bit, because you know what? I just don't care any longer. Twitter is a dumpster fire. I got other things. Let the trolls and haters have their way. Whatever. Who the fuck cares?
Twitter thinks that putting me in timeout is a punishment, and I'm like, oh, cool, a break, thanks.
Yeah, right. 12 hours is like, I can go do something else for a change, right? Gallus Scummer for $2. He says, how much more blood does Curiosity want? Well, that's a good point. We're going to be talking about that in a second.
That is a good point, yeah.
AT2 Productions, as well as from your foray, I have to admit one thing. Damn that ass. I told you, man, my ass ain't bad. People think I'm fat too. I just saw my pictures. I was like, "Do you see my ass? Does that look like a fat ass?" Fine.
You posted that haters gonna hate, right?
Oh yeah.
Did you post that on Twitter?
Yeah, you made that, right?
Yeah, I made. Yeah, that was.
I posted on Twitter. I posted on Facebook, right?
John Park for $4.99 says they probably can't get a beautiful woman to give them the time of day, so they're just jealous. I mean, to be fair, Sweet did address them. Now they may be burn victims now, but I'm pretty sure she did more burn damage to those two than showing Red's face would have done.
Oh yeah, and more than what I could have done. And no matter what I said to them, it means nothing compared to her saying it directly from her. And that I mean, where they can't come back from that. And I'm not even going to try. But I'm not even going to address them again. There's no reason to.
No, they're done.
They're done. And all this other stuff on Twitter, I'm done with it too, as far as addressing dumb people. And I'm not going to be dealing with the trolls, the haters, the people that are trying to run narrative, the people that are trying to attack me. Let them have their thing. I don't care. I'm not going to bother with any of them. Because you know what's happened in the last couple months, I realized, because I just kind of pondered on this. Every one of these cockroaches that have come out to try to malign me or to slight me or to attack me has backfired on them spectacularly in multiple different ways. It has shown these people to be the visceral, evil, just arrogant, manipulative people that I just despised and detested for a very long time. I've known it. Red's known it. Chester's known it. Many of us have known it. But now thousands more know it because they've been exposed. I have nothing else to do with them. So
yeah, I mean, we were just trying to do like a little bit of it. Like we're gonna like expose them a little bit, but then they decided to start streaking, and it was just like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, they did it to themselves too. I mean, so little had to be done to kind of expose them for the people that they actually are.
I've been dealing with we had that cyberbullying episode a little while back, and so the two women there have been kind of trying to involve themselves with Twitter and trying to deal with trolls. And the thing is like, I'm trying to help them out and give them like a little bit of advice on how to deal with this, but at the same time, I'm like, get better trolls. Trolls, do a better job. You suck at this.
They need troll school.
Troll school.
So this whole Christiosity. Okay, let me give you guys a background. Christiosity is not a fan of mine. I'm not a fan of hers. I think she's a vile, detestable, horrible human being. However, she and I have a mutual friend. Brittany Simon, who for some reason Brittany and her gets along. Okay, whatever. But I don't like Christiosity in any way, shape, or form. She was part of the whole thing with what was it? Milwaukee Mythicist Milwaukee, right? If I'm not mistaken, and she was a guest speaker along the same venue that Brittany had. But I've always found her to be she has no ability to understand certain things. She has no ability to understand context, and she does play the victim, and she wants blood all the time. Somebody had noticed how much more blood that she wants, to the point she can draw no more. She's a manipulative vampire when it comes to that, and she'll play these emotional things to the hilt. And she did it with Anti-Ordinary. And
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the thing with Anti-Ordinary is, okay, you Anti-Ordinary is what you see is what you get, right? Because if you mess with her,
Yep.
she's not going to back down. So you kind of have to expect for her to come out fighting. But when somebody claims that Anti-Ordinary is making death threats and rape threats and wants to be taken seriously, as Christiosity was trying to say, we have gone so far past the line of what I consider the realm of reality that I didn't even know what planet I was coming back to after my vacation.
Yeah, like
How absurd was this? Explain this to people, because I don't know what the hell was this about.
So there's something to be said. There is something to be said for language and understanding who you're talking to. And understanding that people in America will have different cadences and different slang and different terms than people over in Europe or people in Australia or people in Canada. So there is a reasonable argument and discussion to actually be had here about language and when it is appropriate and when it isn't, and when do you meet somebody on their field. So like if I'm gonna talk to Anti-Ordinary, then I know who I'm talking to. I know that I can be like, bitch, what? And she's not going to be offended that I called her a bitch.
Bitch, what?
Bitch, what? But if I go and talk to...
I think she'd probably be actually... To call Anti-Ordinary a bitch would be a huge complicator, because she's going to take it like a diva, right? You know?
Yeah.
Like, goddamn,
yeah,
I am
exactly.
a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
but
different
if
use
I go
of the word. That's actually not pejorative. It's actually just the opposite. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, exactly. But even if I do it the exact same way to somebody who's maybe like not so great with those kinds of cadences, or where that's more offensive, I can say the exact same thing with the exact same tone, and they'll be like, "Why are you calling me a bitch? What's your problem?" So the thing is that by removing the context, which is what these people are doing, they're trying to push a narrative. Anytime anybody starts posting screenshots with no context, and you ask for context and they just tell you instead of showing you, assume they're pushing some kind of, just assume that they're pushing something and go and find it yourself. Just make
that magical C word, right? That
context.
magical C word.
There is context and there is nuance. Nuance is where is the person from and where are they coming from, and the context is in what scenario was this actually said. So like this is Christiosity and Demi have like months. They were talking about Rachel Oates. Months of context are going on here. Months, and that's not including however much they've been dealing with each other beforehand or about different issues.
Well, but Christiosity revived a dead thread. To give some people a little background on it, Rachel Oates had written a Google document explaining a lot of her mental health concerns and issues, and relating kind of the story of what the background was between her and other people in relationship to the whole rationality rules things. And I thought it was a very well written thing. I think I think she did it for herself, not so much to other people. I think that's fine. If that she needed to write this to get it all out, to make herself
She was kind enough to make it public for everybody else so that people could understand what was going on.
Right? Yeah. No issue. Matter of fact, like I said, I think it must have been very difficult for her to do. So I give her huge props for that. But this document was not something done behind people's back. It was a public document.
Yep.
But Christiosity, for months. But Christiosity, out of the blue, was like trying to rag on Rachel Oates, saying that she made some Google document behind people's back.
Nasty Google bonds passing back around behind her back. The hell are you talking about?
Which is prima facie wrong. I mean, it's wrong because it was never private. It was always a public thing. But she was trying to make it into this narrative. Now, you had noticed something about people that are trying to run narrative. You said, Besh, that people that if you don't see context from people, people ignoring context, or you see no first-hand evidence or primary evidence, most of the time they're running a script or some kind of narrative, right? That's what you were saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
because if somebody is lying, it shouldn't be that hard to demonstrate that they're lying. Or if somebody is actually making death threats or rape threats, you shouldn't have to argue that it is one.
Yep.
That kind of shit is pretty easy to demonstrate. So if I post something, and I'm pretty sure I've done this in the past, where I've posted what somebody has said to somebody else, but I do my best to grab as much of the context as I can around it. Now, if I can't do that, I'll post more than one. Or if I post something and somebody says, "Oh, hey, where did this come from?" I'll link them straight to the thread. Go find it. Go see it for yourself. I don't have to hide information, or I don't have to like frame the information in a specific way to make sure that what I'm saying is accurate.
I was catching up, but you had just run into that same problem when it came to like Lily Jean and like her mom, Laura. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people that have been after them for quite some time. Now we've jumped in and I went on vacation, but Cheshire and Sarah and a few other people are still actively engaging with these trolls that are after them. But you guys pointed out, where's all the evidence for this? And none of them really had any primary evidence. What they had was things that were taken well out of context and manipulated to seem like that what was being said was at a different time, different place. It was not a coherent argument about why a person that they think is like, for example, like racist. If anybody thinks Lily Jean's racist, they need their head examined, right? I've read what she wrote. I read it out during our hangout on cyberbullying. There's clearly nothing racist there. But people that want to run a narrative are going to try to make that argument, right? Because they're not interested in whether she's racist or not. They just want to hang that label around their neck.
Yeah, or the one that I ran into the most is they were trying to correlate two different things. So there was a conversation where one of them had contacted somebody's workplace because of harassment. And then there was another one where they said nobody contacted anybody's workplace. But they could, so I was like, okay, well, they could either be lying or they could be talking about an enclosed scenario, and in which case, in this situation, nobody did. But it's not equal to an overarching everything. And they just refuse, they just try to keep
that happens to me a lot, too. I'm talking about something,
I
I notice a lot, too. I talk in a small scope on something, and they apply it to the overall, right, to overarching.
Yeah.
And that gets very, very confusing when you don't ask about the nuance of it. Now, her mom was very upfront about the whole message. I guess she left a message because she was afraid for her daughter and wanted to fight back a little bit. She's a Jap, which is a Jewish American princess. My mom's a Jap. That's not a pejorative. That is actually a term of endearment. It's just a Jewish American princess because my mom, that's what she is a Jap. But you know what? Somebody actually said, "Oh, that's racist to Laura, and she's a Jewish American princess." And we're like, anybody who says that doesn't understand the Jewish culture, because that's not a pejorative by any stretch of imagination. But she did call somebody's work because that person was harassing her daughter. She was being, going down the offensive a little bit more and just protecting her daughter by taking some offensive steps rather than just being reactive. So she's trying to be more proactive, and I understand that. People can judge whether that was, the best course of action. Who knows? It depends. I think that maybe under the circumstances it probably was. But if people want to argue maybe it wasn't, that's fine. But what they can't argue is that she was the bully in this case. That's just insanity. She was reacting to people that were bullying Lily Jean. So the same thing that applies here with Christiosity. Christiosity is trying to run a narrative where she takes all this stuff and moves it all around like Lily Jean's detractors were. And the people that are on the outside not understanding the history, they see this, and they think they're critical thinkers, and they go, "Oh, this must be the case." But these things are juxtaposed together. They're disjointed. They're not actually correlated with each other. This is how you tell when people are running a script or narrative.
$5 from Godless Scummer said, or £5 from Godless Scummer said, Christiosity called me a fascist for supporting Steve, not realizing my picture is up on a fascist hate site amid an anti-fascist activist.
Yeah, he's not lying. And he's got some videos. Godless Scummer had messaged me. He's like, I got a video, Steve, on all this, and he's like, I hope that you're not bothered by it, or like, dude, you can make anything you want. I'm like, go for it. I don't know why people think I'm gonna get offended, even if they're my friend, because he's a good friend of mine. But I'm not gonna get offended if a friend of mine puts out a video that is slightly critical or something. If there's valid criticisms,
be critical to us.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I know it comes from a good place, I don't care. I'd be like, I agree, I disagree, but I know like he's not gonna make a video like lying about me, because that's slander. A difference. Right?
Yeah, it's not slander. You don't need to make baseless accusations. Criticizing somebody and baseless accusations are two very different things.
So how
slandering is not being critical.
Explain how anti-ordinary became death threats and rape threats to Christiosity, because
I don't know. They just said it and then just tried to. One person said this was a rape threat, and then everybody tried to run with it. And it was just like anybody who like wasn't part like this group. It was just this group that all did it, and then everybody else was just like, "Do you understand how language works? Anybody with any kind of understanding with the way people speak should understand this."
This is kind of why I kind of understand why Sargon said what he said.
Apparently they called apparently she called Godless Scummer a Nazi.
Who? Christiosity?
Yeah. He changed it to fascist because they wouldn't Twitter wouldn't or YouTube wouldn't let him.
Yeah, by the way,
Nazi.
you say the N word. There's two N words you can't say in my thing. One that won't come up, and two, YouTube doesn't like it. But I do have filters for certain N words. Yeah.
It's just to protect the channel.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon from 99. I will enjoy this combo with a nice caramel latte. Ooh.
By the way, did anybody notice the title? I thought this was a good title video.
I like it. Yeah.
By the way, people may not know this, but Sweet Heathen is actually black. She actually is. So Mocha. Mocha.
Hey.
Although she's actually, we're about the same skin tone, believe it or not. But mom's actually go black. First black girl I've ever went out with. It was great. I liked black.
Dang.
Damn clever. Thank you, AT2. Okay, so back to the death threat thing, because Christiosity,
I honestly I cannot see how, like, you have to take it so far out of context and purposefully twist it, make it, it's on purpose.
Yeah,
it's 100. Even people that were criticizing that's what that message said, were saying that, well, why would you say it this way? Because now you can see how the narrative has been spun out of control about this and is now no longer about what Chrissy says. And I was just like, congratulations, you figured out the point. But
can't you apply that to all of it now? Like everything Christiosity or any of them have ever said, now you got to go back. Well, I've done it from the beginning, but people that have followed them, maybe every time they have, try to have some outrage, maybe they were over the top, maybe they were fabricating, maybe they were playing the victim. Now I say this a lot, and I've called people out for it, and I'm tired of just being a blind eye to it. There are people out there that love being the victim. Christiosity is one of them. EOT is one of them. Matter of fact, probably the worst. Goddess Iwan seems to be that case with Mrs. Snarky. Mel the Scientist Mel the Scientist have a falling out with me because she came to me, asked me to white knight for her on theme, and I wouldn't do it because she always plays the victim. Nothing against her.
They're blaming. Auntie's right. They're blaming me for those people misrepresenting me rather than addressing me.
That's fair enough.
And keep in mind that Sarah and Demi have been dealing with these people for months. I only got like a touch of what they've been dealing with, and even I got.
Well, we've been dealing with Christiosity for a very long time.
You guys
have. She's been around.
Yeah, you guys have. I haven't though.
She's an agent provocateur. She has nothing in her life but moral outrage. That's all she does. Sure. Moral outrage.
But what I'm doing is that I've been keeping an eye on the thread and watching who it is. Because at this point, I'll be able to make a list. I'll be able to put it together for everybody and say, listen, if you don't want to get your account banned or you don't want to get your account false flagged, don't engage with these people. Because this is the same argument
we had.
They'll
try to shut you down.
When things went down with May. When things went down with May, we all said, you can't engage with this person anymore. Engaging with these people is dangerous to yourself because they're going to strike your account.
Well, and that's what I said about a lot of that people, like Keon, Derek Raw, or whatever, a whole bunch of those crowd, they would look for things to try to remove you from Twitter. They got Anti-Ordinary's channel removed. They got Sarah Michelle IP banned. They will actively go after people. And like you said...
because they're not interested in a conversation.
They're not. But as you said, when you engage with them, you're taking your own chances. Now, I have all those people blocked. I won't even...
mine was Don't feel bad for me. And I was like, I'm kind of sorry. Like, I knew you didn't care, but I'm kind of sorry that I kind of got you involved in this. And I'm just like, it was a calculated risk. I knew exactly what I was getting into.
But here's the thing: should people? And again, I'm not saying hey block people. I'm not trying to do anything. But
no.
But I'm asking you, Chess. Do you think people should be at the point where they're going? If these people want to relegate themselves from the conversation, and they want to shut down conversation, and they want to be that kind of person that actively tries to report flag videos and that kind of stuff, why wouldn't what is the reason not to block them or not have
At
them
least
around? 'Cause I
not
can't think of
engaging.
any.
Yeah, at least not engaging with them.
At the very
Depending
least,
on
not
how.
engaging.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother engaging with them for the most part. The only thing that I might do is instead of blocking them, it depends on the kind of person you are. If you want to stop them from abusing the system the way they are, then you need to use the system properly. And using the system properly is reporting them when they say that they're going to do a bunch of reporting on somebody. When you see that, you report that as targeted harassment.
Yeah, by the way,
because that is targeted.
I have
harassment.
reported somebody for targeting harassment recently, because I'm sick of it. Now, again, people have to understand the difference between somebody who goes out of their way to try to report people, and then against the other side, which is people that are actively trying to prevent bullies. If you see somebody trying to target people to harass them and report them, at that point, I think it is okay not to target that person, but in response to them being the bully, to report them. I'm okay with that.
So
I don't find an
if
issue
somebody
with that.
is, yeah, I try to keep it as simple as I can because I don't like leaving too much gray area for something like this. If somebody is purposefully trying to report somebody and purposefully pushing a false narrative on, like, and using those things together. So they're pushing a false narrative to try and get other people to report somebody else. That is what the system is there for. That is a true use of somebody. That is targeted harassment. Me telling somebody to go fuck themselves, that's not harassment. That's not what that is at all. That's not a threat. Or if I say I'm gonna fuck you, that's not a threat. That's not a credible threat. If you see a credible threat, then yeah, sure, be concerned about that. But if somebody is actively saying, "Hey, look at this thing," to try and get people to false flag, that's something that I think if you want to stop these people from actively harassing people, if you want to stop these people from being able to do what it is they're currently doing and trying to do, which is targeted harassment, if you see that, you should report it and maybe retweet it so other people will see what's going on.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these people actually go out of the way to make everything into what they perceive or want to convince people they perceive as a credible threat, and they do so disingenuously. If Cheshire says to me, "Hey Steve, I'm gonna fuck you up," yeah, it's obviously not going to be a credible threat to me. Now, if somebody that I do know that online that I think is psychotic like that says, "Hey Steve, I am flying right now down to murder you," I'm going to take that a little more seriously, especially if I know that they are psychotic people, or have
it depends on
felonies.
who the threat is coming.
Right.
Yeah, it also depends on who the threat is coming from.
Yeah, and just the wording
and the
itself,
context.
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 That C word again. Damn that C word.
Helios for $5. These people are just another form of troll. You don't defeat trolls by engaging. You defeat them by watching them and reporting their misbehavior. Exactly. So don't engage with these people because it's not worth it to you. You don't want to put yourself in the line of fire. The thing is, like, Steve and I are in the line of fire because Steve and I stand up for people and are actually allies to people within the community, and actually, because there's, like, again, like I said, I didn't change Demi's message. I could have changed it and made it more palatable for the people she was trying to talk to. But again, why would I do that? And why am I justified in doing that? And should I not pass the message on? I mean, I had the option to not do that, but, I'm a little bit of an asshole.
Here's the thing, though. We stand up for what's right, or what we believe to be is right. I want to make sure people understand this is not some kind of tribalistic thing. If Anti-Ordinary, if I think she's in the wrong, I will talk to her. And she knows it, and vice versa. She does to me as well. I think that's why we probably have we've been probably the best relationship we've had so far because of that. Not even that. No, I think I consider her actually a friend now. Because we've moved all past that, because I think we understand each other now.
Reached an understanding.
And I like that. I really do. I like the way I've always liked her videos from day one. I mean, that's why I got to know her, right? Because I liked her content. I thought it was entertaining. I liked the way she expressed herself. Some people don't. I get that. But to each his own. I happen to like that type of style because I think some people, when they put themselves out there and such in a, I'm going to say over the top, but not badly over the top. I think it's entertaining, right? Because she really believes what she is stating. And I've told people a million times, I'd rather have a discussion or an argument with somebody who believes what they're saying than somebody who doesn't, right? Because you don't stand by your convictions. But
yeah. Joseph makes a really good point. It said, if I was really, I'm sure I would have asked first if I was really that concerned. If I was concerned that Demi was actually threatening somebody.
Oh yeah, I'd be all over.
I didn't even read it as a threat until somebody pointed it out that it was a rape threat, and I was like, what? And
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I guess if you squint real hard and twist your head,
sure,
I guess.
I'm sure Anti-Owner, who lives in
Some brains
over
out
in
of
the
your
UK, I'm sure she's gonna save up enough money to come fly over, find Christiosity, just to have sex with her. I really think that's viable.
Yeah, actually, Anti-Ordinary also made a video addressing this, and now the same people who were claiming rape threat are saying her addressing this is her trying to cover it up.
Rape
She's not
apologetics.
covering it up. She just straight up shows exactly what was said. Shows that's not hiding anything. That's not a cover up, fucking psycho. That's not what that is.
But more people need to
opposite.
point this shit out. More people need to point these narratives out. Like I said, this is what kind of we do. We put ourselves out there to help people because we're going to be doing a lot of things with anti-bullying because we see it quite often. We see a lot of people.
Oh no, but we're the bullies though.
You know what? I'll tell you right now. People want to consider you and I a bully, and Liliana a bully, and her mom bully, and Anti-Ordinary a bully because we're standing up for what's right. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. I will be the bully against bullies if that's the game they want to play. Fair enough. I don't back down. You don't back down. Anti-Ordinary doesn't back down.
Yeah, no,
so.
that's the thing.
Cool.
That's the thing.
Oh, Sarah too. Sarah's a bully.
Right. Oh, right, and like Boole and David are
David bigots.
bigots. Yeah.
Hey.
I just like this. The thing is with Twitter is that a lot of bullying tactics rely on isolating and silencing. The stuff that you see going on with Lily and Laurel they're trying to isolate them. It's not working anymore. It was. It's not working anymore. The swap tactic of that is trying to silence somebody. So if they take Demi and they remove her from the platform, they can then say whatever they want.
Yeah, isolation.
And
That's
spear
you're right.
her in any way, shape, or form, provided that nobody else stands up.
But weren't they doing that with like Lily-Ann? They were trying to isolate her and make her feel like nobody was
Yes.
supporting her. And by the way, they were gaslighting the fuck out of them, which will be another term we're getting to on the next episode. But they were being gaslit. I've seen it all the time. I mean, a lot of shit with non sequitur. So many people were gaslighting. It was ridiculous. Changing history or making you think, well, did I? Trying to remember, making you question your own remembrance and sanity of shit.
Yeah.
And so I see it happen quite frequently when they try to isolate people that have not as much, I guess, experience dealing with bullies as Liliana has. And I think they appreciated finding new. Wait, one second. I think they very much appreciated finding allies because they did feel isolated.
Yeah, particularly if they don't have the kind of followers that are engaged in that way. Right, so like a lot of the time you get a lot of people will follow you, but people who are happy and content with what you're doing don't say anything, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That makes total sense. But if you have a lot of those people, and then you've got a bunch of people that are then trying to isolate and bully you, like one of the people tried to call out one of the people that were trying to bully them called out the last night that, oh, look at you just tagging all of these unrelated people, and I was just like, this is Twitter. When you want somebody to join in a conversation, you tag them. There's nothing wrong with wanting people to join in the conversation. And the people they tagged have already been involved. You just keep making new threads to try and hide from us. Get out of here. That's not how this works.
Do you think it's funny when people tag a bunch of people and all those people come in and say, the person that's doing the tagging is looking like an idiot when they're running some stupid argument. They expect people to come back them up. By the way, if you tag people in a discussion I'm having with somebody, 9 times out of 10, that person is going to end up looking like an idiot. Somebody says Steven is a doobie. Okay, can I show this real quick? Because I need it. On vacation, a little sidetrack, we went to a pot store. This is California. And we got this shit, and it didn't do anything. So I don't know what the hell it was doing, but it was. I think to me it was just an experience. So we got this stuff here. It looks like a prescription bottle, but it's not. It's fake. But it's basically 250 milligrams. It's 1,000 milligrams of THC supposedly. Called Prodenka something. Did your goddamn thing. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing with weed. So if you got any weed experts out there, message me later. Help me out here. I have no idea how to get high anymore. I don't know. I want to at least try it again because it's been several years. But figure it out for me, people. But anyways, go ahead, dude. That was a sidetrack. I'm so relaxed. Can you tell I'm just like total chill right now?
Yeah.
I want to stay that way. That's why I want pot. Edible smoke. Good.
You gotta get yourself some gummy bears. I don't think that the thing is like there are tactics that bullies will use. Taking somebody out of context, playing the victim, saying you shouldn't be bringing other people in the isolation tactics, silencing tactics. That's bullying. Me calling you out, even if you don't like the way I've called you out, that's not bullying. That's not bullying at all. I had somebody harassing me in Twitter DMs. So I asked them to leave me alone multiple times. So then I tweeted out publicly. I said, "Hey guys, how many times do I have to say no before this is reasonable? How long before I should call them out publicly, or how long before it's considered harassment?" Some people said once, and the consensus seemed to be about 3 times.
I would say 3 times too. Yeah, I'm good with that.
It was 2 to 3, depending on how clear you were the first time. Mm-hmm. So if you were being subtle about it the first time, then 3 times. But if you were like, "Hey, no, leave me alone" the first time, and then they keep going, and you say, "No, seriously," then it's 2 times.
Yeah.
So 2 to 3 times seems to be the consensus. But then this person decided to comment and then just make themselves look like a complete idiot. And now then they tagged a bunch of people to go and harass me. And then like a day or 2 later deleted their account. One of those people actually showed up to harass me in a video that Unirock covered.
Wow. See, this is what I don't understand. These people make themselves look like idiots. And I think as a community, we do need to point this out more. When you see people being harassed and bullied, you know what? It's not white knighting to say something. That's not what white knighting is. It is a responsibility, I think, that we have as people in the communities, as more public people. I'm not saying everybody, right? If you feel like you want to get involved, this is not like a call out, right? But it's just saying,
no.
If you want to get involved and you want to have more responsibility, then I think it's fine to stand up against bullies. Because look, I got people that I've told for years, I want nothing to do with you. I'll never say your name. I'm never going to talk to you. You're never going to be in the same hang out with me. I want absolutely nothing to do with them. They're going to continue to talk about me for years.
No means no.
No means no. But you know what? They don't give a shit. They're gonna try to for years. And by the way, it's only propelled me higher. Fair enough. But I notice now that a lot of more people know what's going on, are standing up and saying, you guys are just being bullies now for no reason. Which is
that's one of the reasons why we do this show.
It is one of the reasons.
So here's the thing. The point is that you shouldn't necessarily engage with these people unless you really, really want to. Unless you really feel comfortable doing so, you should not engage with bullies and people who are known bullies and people who are known they target people. Because leave that to us. We're fine. We're safe. We're comfortable. We're confident.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a call. It's only for the people
this is not,
addressing
this
that
is not
they're
a call
similar
out.
mindset to us, right? They can handle it. Right.
Yeah, exactly. This is not a call out for you guys to necessarily get involved. If you want to, nobody's going to stop you.
Know what you're getting yourself in for, though.
If you do want to assist people like Demi and people like Sarah and people like me or Steve who are in Lily Jean, people who are in the crossfire, people who are going to be on the front lines for stuff like this, then just watching in the background and reporting things that you think are targeted harassment and reporting things, like actually utilize the system properly. None of us are going to tell you to none of us are going to tell you to false flag somebody. If somebody tells you to report somebody for stuff, that's a call out to action. That's a call out.
I've only done that once, and it was because somebody called. There was somebody calling out people to go harass them, and I'm like, I'm going to call that out, which is fine because again, these are defensive measures. These are more responses than anything else, right? And I think it's okay to do that. Helios, you want to read that one real quick?
Yeah. Hold on, give me 1 second. I got to scroll it up for a sec. Helios. Yeah. For $5. There is so much gaslighting going on with the non sequitur show issue that those of us who haven't been here from day one probably don't know what actually happened. Yes.
Oh,
that's why I have that playlist. Pass them the playlist.
There's so much. It's ridiculous. I still got people with all the public documents out there. Still people out there who really much have not been around from the beginning that don't know, and some of them they provide the revisionism, right? They provide the whole revisionism approach.
Well, and some people are accidentally getting involved in this revisionist, in this whitewashing. Some of them are they're honestly not trying to do it on purpose. They actually just don't know and haven't done their due diligence to actually look into it because they trust the people that are around them. And for all intents and purposes, they're not doing anything incorrectly, they just don't know what they're talking about. So just give them the information. Don't assume that they don't know. Don't assume they're trying to gaslight. Give them the information. And if they hide your responses and try and have a discussion, then afterwards, after not having taken the time to actually look into it, disengage with that person, because now it's purposeful.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it.
I
agree with you.
Mr. P for 2 pounds said hashtag goblin gobblers.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. There's no reason to assume people are trying to gaslight or trying to be malice in their intent. I don't go around thinking anybody who asks me about anything is how.
At least not right out the gate.
But when you start explaining to them and you give them all the information, and then they start dropping other things that you just think to yourself, maybe this person isn't the honest interlocutor that you initially thought they were, then that's fine. But that's at that point, like you said, decide whether you want to continue with them or just be done with them, because there's a lot of dishonest agents out there, a lot of dishonest interlocutors.
This non-sex stuff would be a great case study on how bias makes you more likely to accept disinformation. Yes,
I think one day I know there's a couple people that want to do some documentaries on it, but I think there's going to be a lot more to it. We're still waiting for a judge to sign one paper, hopefully by the end of the week, that we should have that in. It's going to be a court order to Kyle to hand over all the books and to the channel. It's already in front of the judge. He just has to sign it. Kyle has not filed anything. Shocker, I know. So the people that are doing this revisionism saying, well, Kyle, he filed this paperwork, but it wasn't really done right. No, he filed nothing. Nothing. He's playing these people like you wouldn't believe, and yet they're still willing to buy into it, even though that Mr. Atheist, KC, GE, I should say Chloe rather than Crocodile. And Kate, all of them, denounced him. All of them said, yeah, he was lying to us. But hey, he's telling you the truth about filing. Come on. He wasn't. You can go to the public records in North Carolina and find out he wasn't.
So for back to just the cyberbullying thing, if you do see Steve or I or others engaged with these kinds of people and having these kinds of arguments, one, if somebody isn't providing context and isn't forthcoming with information and is arguing around it rather than actually just providing it to you, they're pushing something. Whatever it is, they're pushing something. And two, don't feel obligated to engage. However, if you do want to help us out, if you do see them behind closed doors, or because a lot of them will block us, if you do see them engaging in behavior that is against terms and services, by all means, feel free to report them, because that's what the system is for.
And I will tell you this, look to where these people are like kind of groups they're from, because when you see certain people asking you questions and they all have the same friends that I've blocked, right? I have like literally a group of people that I blocked every one of them, and they have the same people that they are talking to. You can probably make an educated guess they're not going to be honest.
Yep.
So, and people know the group that I'm talking about. So if you
like I said, or if somebody gets mad at you for asking, that's gaslighting. If you say, hey, where did you get this information from? Or can you point me in the direction of where to get this information? They're like, and they start being aggressive, that's a bullying tactic.
Yeah,
they're trying to be aggressive to get you to back off your questioning.
I think there's a lot of stuff from the non sequitur thing that we'll recap later on.
Yeah. We'll do a big overhaul, I'm sure. In time, we'll probably do one as well.
Oh, without question. But like I said, there are some things that we need to take care of step by step. This next step is a motion and order that we've done. The order is in front of the judge. He has it. He just has to sign it, hopefully today, and then he has 14 days, and we'll go from there. So it is time consuming. I do apologize, people, but I can only do so much.
Yep. It doesn't help that Kyle admittedly is trying to drag it out as long as possible.
Travis C says, in regards to what about Bull, curious if Bull's going to get some form of compensation on the damages. Not out of the damages I'm suing, but I'm working out with something with Bull for future plans with him that he's going to get compensated for. Yeah.
Somebody's asking if they can see my shirt. Sorry, one moment.
This is a Caffeine Corner. We don't dress up.
This is a relaxed day. We're back from a vacation.
I am so mellow, dude. I am like chill as fuck right now. Even though I'm not high, I'm not drunk or nothing. I feel like my whole body has been reset. My mind's been reset. My attitude's been reset. Something that was just you know what a vacation actually is for, right? A vacation is supposed to revigorate you. This was a true vacation. And so
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm still not weaned myself off of it, to be honest with you. I'm going to ease
It's gonna
back
take a
into
couple
it.
of days to get back into things.
And then I'm going to take another one real quick when I get a chance because I don't know. I want to see Sweet again. But,
Everybody deserves a vacation. It's my turn. I get to go next, right? Do I get to go on
you
vacation?
get to go to well, you and I will take a different kind of vacation. But
There we go.
We are going to meet. Trust me, we are. That's already in the works.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna have a get together. We're gonna have a bunch of people meet up. Hell's yes.
We'll do our own version of NunCon eventually,
Exactly.
I'm sure as well. So before we move on, so if you want to know why I'm in Twitter jail, go watch Anti-Ordinary's video, the most recent one on her channel. That basically covers the entire situation, and it's not a super long video. It's also very good, and it shows the screenshots of everything, shows the context of everything, because, honest people don't have to hide shit. That's why I'm in. Did Sarah get in Twitter jail for anything super specific, or is it just these same people that just keep
well, Sarah's like me, very colorful in her vocabulary sometimes, and sometimes we get very insulting, which I do on Twitter. Twitter Steve. I'm going to dial back on that only because I'm tired of being in Twitter jail too sometimes. So I'm probably going to be.
This is my first time in Twitter jail.
Welcome to our world. I'm probably going to be nicer on Twitter and probably won't be on Twitter as much. I'm only going to be using Twitter for announcing things. I'm still going to do the atheist agnostic thing. I'm never going to let that go. Sorry. I'm going to fix Matt Dillahunty and Aaron Ra's arguments on that. Trust me. But for the most part, I really don't want to argue with people on Twitter any longer. It just serves no purpose. I want to educate. I want to inform. I want to be relative. I want to be relevant. But there's different ways of doing that. So I'm going to kind of dial back on that. I think Sarah's taken over that anyways, as far as being Twitter Sarah. She's way more aggressive than I've ever been. So let her. Now, if she wants to dial it back, that's up to her. But
oh yeah, that's entirely her decision and entirely the decision of the thing is that I think you're gonna catch. Sarah knows what she's doing. She's not doing this accidentally. She knows exactly what she's saying.
Of course she does. Yes, she's not an idiot.
And she knows who she's talking to. So she's gonna handle the situation however she damn well pleases.
But is it worth it? Is it worth it though? Having your Twitter account, you go to jail or have an ID block? You think so?
Sometimes I think
Maybe.
so. I think me getting a Twitter ban demonstrates exactly the problem with that group of people, and in that demonstration, I think it will show a lot of people exactly what the hell is.
But she could say the same thing on her YouTube channel and not have that threat because YouTube lets you get away with a lot more shit. Okay, let's be honest. You could criticize all you want on YouTube. They do have bullying and harassment, but their uses of that is very specific. Criticizing is not harassment. That they've already deemed that. But if Cheshire and I were to say, hey, we want people to go out and we want people to go hunt down this person and do something to them or go out and do something to their channel, that is targeted harassment. And you cannot do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not about whether or not your ban is. Sorry, Sarah. It's not whether or not your ban is justified. It's whether or not what you're saying is worth risking the ban over.
Right. If I say fuck you and I say it more than 6 times or something like that, I get a Twitter jail poof instantly because the algorithm.
Yeah. So it depends kind of on what you want to do. Now, there are going to be times where it's going to be worth the risk. Like what I did was incredibly calculated. Like I knew exactly what I was doing. I'm not going to be like, oh no, she just told me to do it. No. I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew what I was getting into, and I was just like, at me. I'm going to get my first ban. Let's go. Like
you actually said it that you were going to get a ban. Yeah, you were psychic.
A day before I said I was going to get a ban, and I put out the marching orders for today the night before, knowing that this might happen. Like, come on, guys. Like I know. I'm not. Come on, you guys.
It's almost like a badge of honor, though, because it's like you got 2 types of people that are being banned. You got the ones that actually deserve it, the ones that don't. The one that don't, I mean, it's kind of like, well, what the hell did you do that was so bad that Twitter had to say, oh, we can't have this. You can't say this to somebody, and yet the stuff that I've said to people that I've gotten banned on actually have been pretty innocuous sometimes. You just have to use a word that just didn't know how you were using it.
It's just false flagging. Oh, there's another piece of information before we move on to our Katie stuff. Dark Raw and Keon accounts have started getting deleted.
Yeah, I saw that. I noticed that too. Well, they said that they were gonna delete some of their accounts, but they could keep coming back. I mean, it's one person, but I think what happened is people were just recognizing that these people were so shitty that Keon Raw, for him to go out and actively target people to get them removed, like literally helped get Anti-Ordinary and or Sarah Michelle, because he says it was only one of them. I think it was both, but regardless, it's still, he went actively out of his way to silence
He
the trans
showed up.
voice.
He showed up on Demi's video on another account, and I saw him immediately. He was like, "This is a threat," and I was just like, "Oh, hey, Keon." And then he was just like, "Oh, well, you can ban me here if you want." The only person who can ban anybody on Auntie's channel right now is Auntie. She doesn't have any mods. So none of us, and Sarah went in and said, "Oh, this is this account, da 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 da," and just explaining who the account was, because I didn't explain. I just said, "Hey, Keon, what up?" And so,
well, I want to engage with Keon because, like I said,
"Oh, well, I'm not going to be afraid to say my opinion because you guys might ban me." And it's like, nobody's going to ban you, dumbass.
But here's the thing: I've left messages for Keon on videos, right? Because he can't do shit. I won't engage him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I know he'll try to flag me. But
he also said that they also said that they were going to come out with a video about this that we claimed he was transphobic, and I was like, okay, whatever. He's so triggered.
He's so triggered by that.
Funny.
I love that.
He's so mad. And then
could you prove that I'm transphobic? And I'm
like,
I don't give a shit whether you are or not. You did something which was transphobic by trying to silence trans voices. According to people, that's how it works, right? Live or die by your own rules, dude.
Right? So then he says that, "Oh, I'm gonna get off of Twitter because of people like you." Now, I don't know if he was responding to me or to Sarah or to Auntie or to all of us, and it's like nobody said anything bad towards him in that chat. Nobody said anything. We all just said, "Oh, hey, this is this account. Oh, hey," so like we recognized who he was. So he was like, "I'm leaving Twitter," and I should personally what I said, because I'm not gonna hide it. I said, "Good, thank God, go away."
Well, this is why I'm happy to engage him on a YouTube video, right?
Help.
He can't do shit on a YouTube video, and I'll excoriate him. But I'm not going to do anything on Twitter because, again, he's just not. He's not a honest agent. So why would I bother engaging with him? I'm not interested in dealing with dishonest people any longer. Dishonest people get nothing of my time.
It's so funny. Well, the thing is, like, I honestly, what I hope for is that I hope that this person gets off of Twitter, gets off of YouTube for a little while, gets off of the Discord, because they're in Kyle's Discord. Get off of there, get some help, reassess your shit, and come back on a completely new account, completely unrelated, and engage honestly. Or don't. Join a different community.
Yeah, I won't have anything to do with Keon, period,
just
ever.
For your own. Well, the point is that it wouldn't be Keon anymore. Not the Keon we know.
It doesn't matter. He can't.
If they get some fucking help, my God, just.
He needs serious.
Just go.
Help.
You're not. We're concerned for your mental health.
She is. I'm
Please.
not really. I really don't care.
Away.
I'm a lot more
ambivalent
and unemotionally attached to these people, because I just think they're vile, horrible human beings, and I'm not going to give them an ounce of sympathy or empathy. Not anything. I'm sorry. I'm not going to. And I hope people forgive me for that. I will for people that deserve it. They don't to me. And I'm not going to. I'm unapologetic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not going to waste your emotions.
Wait, is that a contradiction? Yeah. I'm unapologetic. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Just Steve being Steve.
Steve being Steve.
Oh, God. Go get... Keon, stop. Get some help.
Get help. That's going to be our new tagline. Get help.
Wes Kurtz for $1.99 says, "Are there any interviews/debates scheduled?"
I have people that have reached out that I know that want to come on this channel, and if and when I get Non Sequitur back. I haven't scheduled anybody yet. Possible to do so, but I've talked to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that want to come back on and want to do things. I'm not doing really interviews or debates on this channel for a while per se, because I'm trying to save that for if and when we get Non Sequitur back. This channel right now is basically going to be doing Caffeine Corner on Mondays. I got stuff usually sometimes on Wednesdays. I've got Ask a Philosopher on Friday. I've got Rum and Coke on Saturday, and whatever else we throw in. But I'll be doing more. I'll be doing like science stuffs on Wednesdays, and then maybe on Sunday I thought about doing some science stuff. So I'm not sure about interviews per se. I don't want to do the debates. Modern Day Debate can kind of take over those. I mean, I would do some, but
well, We'll see.
See, the modern day debate I liked. Don't get me wrong, James is cool, but those debates, I hate to say it, bore me because I've already seen them all. It was fun and exciting when we started doing them, and you know, you get to see Kent Hovind come back after like 10 years. But how much more Kent can people take?
Helios for 10 says the best way to offend these people, hold them to the standards they hold others to. Yes. Seriously though, you should hold yourself to your own standard before you hold others to it. Yes. Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes. Absolutely.
The super
Yeah,
chat.
I think we'll end up doing more debates, but I think it'll be some time before we decide who and where and what we're actually going to have.
You want to read Helios? $10.
I just did.
Oh,
that was the thing that you agreed with.
Okay. Thank you.
You're on vacation.
I'm still checked out, man. I'm still processing the weekend. Man, oh man, did we try to put so much into our bucket list to get done? It was ridiculous. And we'll be showing pictures before we end here.
We got the stuff for Katie Poulsen, and I have an "Am I the Asshole?"
Okay.
If we decide we want to.
Yeah, we'll dive into that. Let me just read a couple of these real quick. Team Skeptic, hey buddy. He says, "Oh man, I had Professor Dave on my channel the other day. He was an amazing guest. That would be cool." Modern Debate. Dapper Dino says, "Hey buddy." He says, "Modern Day Debate is a bit busy, though. You may want to supplement sometimes." Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would be good to still have a couple once in a while.
Yeah,
We're just not going to overload with it.
Well, I still got to do DEFCON 1 Science with Landa Kurt Knoll. He's been a little busy. I've been obviously busy, so we're going to be doing those on this channel. I got Nuclear Katie that wants to come on, talk nuke stuff. Again, I haven't stopped reaching out to people. It's just the problem is really difficult right now scheduling this month, and I told people for this month, give me a little leeway here.
If you guys who are on Twitter can do me a super huge favor, because I am in Twitter jail, I can't actually share that this video is live right now. So if you guys, I'm actually going to do a call out. If you guys could do me a favor and share it to Twitter,
that's a request, not a call out.
That would be, it's a request. Please, thank you, because I can't do it, and people get mad at me when I can't. Please and thank you, because I forgot to do it last week. And I've got angry messages. So
I can't believe I retweet stuff and people actually thank me. Like I retweeted like Demi stuff and she actually like thanks me for it. I'm like, that's sweet, but it's not necessary. I mean, I don't need to be thanked for retweeting. If I like something, I'll retweet it. Right? That means I stand by it, or at least I find something of interest to it. Doesn't necessarily mean there are times I retweeted stuff I don't agree with, obviously.
There's
for other reasons. Yeah.
Wes Kurtz for $1.99 sounds good. Thanks for the update.
So let's migrate here into the Katie Joy Poulsen thing. I don't know what's going on with this. Katie Joy wanted to have, by the way, she wanted to have a new truce with me, and I told her to basically screw off. I'm not interested. Been down that route. So I'm not going to pass things up with her. I have no intention on doing it. But I guess she's no longer a Patheos writer. Now, I don't know if this is because of her own accord or if they dumped her. I've heard mixed things. I don't want to be like a gossip monger and throw this out there, but the word to me was, this is how I found out about it, was that she lost her Patheos because of inconsistencies and false stories relating to her son. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if she deleted the channel herself for whatever reasons. But she would go from being a, quote, writer or journalist. First she would say, I'm not a journalist, I'm a writer. Then other times she's like, I'm a journalist. Other times like, I have Patheos lawyers. I mean, just weird narratives because she made Patheos be like this big backer behind her. I have Patheos lawyers, you know, if you insult me or blah, 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 and she'd use that as a weapon, which I'm like, bring it. Here's my lawyer's number. Have at it.
Towards criticism, too.
Valid criticisms.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now, her Patheos is gone. Like, all those pages are gone. And I don't know exactly why. I don't know the full story. So if you are out there and you do know more about this and could give us an actual I guess, evidence of what happened, not just your opinion, because I'm just blowing smoke right now. Of course, it's my opinion.
Yeah, we don't.
Because I don't know. I'm just relating to what people had told me, and it could be completely unrelated, whether it had to do with her son or not. She could have just said, I'm done with Patheos. But why would she delete our stuff? I don't know. But what is a fact is that her blog is gone. That relationship is obviously severed there. But what have you heard? I mean, do you know anything about it?
Before I go into it, Exploratory Minds Project for 2 says, looking good, Steve, the more relaxed demeanor shows.
Wait. I'm telling you, man, I felt so good when we were out, man. We were socializing. People were enjoying. We had a great bartender. It
You
was
didn't have
just
to
fun.
deal with dumb things on the internet.
It was like none of the stuff even mattered. Sure, her and I discussed what was going on. We were bound to, but it wasn't like it affected us at all. It was like some other planet, some other reality, some other story. We didn't give a shit about anything. It was great. I feel that way now. I so
Yep.
don't care about the drama merchants out there right now. They've done
It puts
nothing to
a
me.
vacation. A vacation puts these kinds of things into perspective. When you can step away and you don't have this constant information dump of people just being assholes all the time, it puts them back into perspective of like, oh yeah, the internet isn't the only thing that exists out there. And even if it was the only thing that existed, this is a small group of people. This is a small group of people. The internet is a huge place. If realistically, if Steve wanted to really get rid of all these people following him around and trying to smear him, all he has to do is take a break from the internet for like a year and then enter it through a different doorway.
They would
There's
love that.
so many other things. What, like
Well,
if you got
but-
off the internet?
Yeah, but,
because of that?
here's the thing. Over time, you realize that they have no effect on you. I'm doing well. My channels are reasonably successful, but I have a huge amount of friends that I have, that people that I like talking to, that I care about, that care about me, that we have an online relationship with. They can't fuck with that. They can't do anything about those things. I have an awesome friend that I got to go on vacation with, who's going to be a vacation buddy. So when we go on vacation again, I'm taking her because we enjoy scenery. We enjoy eating food together and stuff like that. We just what you do on vacation, right? So a vacation buddy, and so they can't take that away from me. They just can't. I'm untouchable in that regard.
Yeah, they don't have power. You're
Yeah,
influenced
they have no
against
power
them.
over me, and that's the greatest
Gossip.
feeling that you can get from coming back from vacation. And I hope
Yeah.
Lily Jean and Anti-Ordinary and other people that have been bullied, I hope that they get to that point where they realize these people have no power over them, really.
Godless Scummer says Katie left Patheos because she's going to win the Pulitzer Prize. This is #This is Katie's truth.
Yeah, this is Katie's reality. Well, in her truth, yes.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit. I've seen a little bit of this. I haven't seen too much, but I did see that. Yeah, her blog is gone. That Patheos is she is no longer part of Patheos in any way, shape, or form. As to why, from what I was able to garner, that it looks like she did get dropped. Like that she's just not allowed to post with them anymore. For what reason, I don't know. I could get.
You can't ask her because she's not going to say anything about it, probably.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, maybe somebody would be able to call Patheos and find out, but that might be private.
I don't
like,
think.
more private information
Do they have a
wouldn't
number
share.
to call? I don't think it's like a service. It's just a blog host. It's not like a business.
I don't.
is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Then, like, well, they have people that they have employees. Like
I
you know,
really
like
have no
Katie
idea.
claimed she was one of those employees, but then wasn't listed. So
Hmm.
it doesn't. It seems like that she got dropped, but we don't know for sure. So if anybody does have any other information about that, maybe Katie will want to come on and do an interview about it and lie through her teeth.
By the way, Reed says, glad you had a run of vacation. Sorry I messaged you on your vacation, though it ended muddy. My bad. By the way, people can message me anytime, even though I was on vacation. I'll catch up when I can. I'm probably not going to get back to everybody, but she wouldn't let me check most of my messages, okay? She could let me check my DMs, but we had a little thing. She wouldn't let me tweet, and she wouldn't let me do anything on Facebook, so I didn't. For obvious reasons, because I was being entertained.
It's good to be on. It's good to be entertained, and it's good to be on vacation.
Yeah. so
Oh,
I
and
just didn't
also one
respond.
thing I want to say real quick: Happy Thanksgiving, everybody!
That's for another, not for another next month.
I'm in Canada.
Oh, you get Canadian Thanksgiving, yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Let's see here. Yeah, because we have to go through Halloween first before we get to Thanksgiving. So yeah, okay. So let's wrap that up. If anybody knows anything more about that, just let us know. I'm just curious. Like I said,
So we'll be sure to pass that information along.
I'm not going to
Once
spread
I'm out of
false
Twitter jail.
rumors, but I'm not a Katie fan. People know, but I'm not gonna spread any misinformation. I want to know the truth. Okay. So what else we got? Anything else?
Oh, we can end this on the "Am I an asshole?"
Well, I got my pictures first. What do you want to do? Am I an asshole or my pictures? I say pictures, then am I an asshole? We're gonna because
All right,
usually
cool.
usually you do the am I asshole at the beginning. And so we'll
Yeah.
just do it at the end.
All right.
All
sounds
right. So these are real quick pictures. I mean, and these weren't all of them, but these are a lot of them. So.
good. I'm sure they'll all be safe for YouTube.
No. Okay, so So basically, these were the pictures that were taken at the observatory. We decided to bus up there at the Griffith Observatory, and I've been there before many times. I grew up in the area. Matter of fact, I lived not too far. I was born in Hollywood, so this was my old area. Now, I don't know why she took a picture of this, but Tyson Ranch. It was in the folder. But she was trying to take in all the sites, right? Because this was there. Look at that. I gotta admit, that's a cute picture. I really think that's a cute picture. I look like
I'm
evil,
behind.
but
I'm watching with everybody else.
okay. And this was again Griffith. This was no particular order. Griffith Observatory.
Oh, that is a cute picture.
Yeah, I think we photographed real well together.
I got the greatest.
I have an actual
compliment.
smile on my face. But
my family was here for Thanksgiving, and I showed them that picture of the two of you, and I got the greatest compliment because my family said I looked like Sweet, and I was like, oh.
Well, you're very pretty too.
Thanks.
This was we kept, like I said, we were busting it around. And by the way, we should have got a day pass. We didn't even think about it. I didn't, but it's cheap. But Griffith Observatory, they closed that for the day. We couldn't see a show. Again, on the bus. But I tell you what, the bus ride was great. We got to have the best conversations. We were just chilling on the bus talking.
Enjoying each other's company.
Yep. We were drinking Dark and Stormies there. Basically a Moscow Mule with rum rather than vodka.
What kind of rum did you use? Gold?
No, it was supposed to use Gosler's, I think, for an actual Dark and Stormy, but he used, I don't know, like Maker's Mark or something. This is the observatory, too. These payphones, we'd walked by these payphones like 12 times because it was right by the hotel. And she's like, what are these? I'm like, they're phones before cell phones. You would call and put a quarter in. She's like, you lie. But I'm like, no, it really wasn't. No, she didn't know what they were. But they don't fix these things anymore because nobody uses them. But look at that view. Is that gorgeous? That's L.A. Actually, I think it's Burbank. Actually, I think
that is nice.
I think that's actually Burbank. The other view is L.A. These were old fashions that we had.
I bet it's
So
a really
good.
nice shot at nighttime.
Gorgeous at night. Yeah, I've been up there at night. Like I said, those are old fashions. That's another view of the skyline. Oh man, see, I'm just reminiscing. This was great. I mean, this was me. Oh, by the way, look at that ass. By the way, okay, I gotta stretch this out a little bit more because that makes me. Anyways, go look at the actual photo. The ratio. My ass is not big.
Yeah, you've got it stretched a little bit.
Yeah, I got it
long
stretched
ways.
out.
Yeah, that's the one I put a bunch of sparkles on it and said, "Hate is gonna hate."
This was a mural that we passed by on the way up to the observatory. She liked. This was a shot from inside. I love this shot. This is, to me, is gorgeous. The architecture of the observatory is just spectacular. This is her flying back, or I think this is on the way up there. No, I think it's actually the way back. I don't know. Who knows? Earth is curved, by the way. Yeah. This is the I don't remember where this building was. That's a beautiful picture of the observatory. Yeah, and it was populated, man. Oh my God, was there people there? It was like wall to wall people on a Sunday. But we had passed through some beautiful architectures of buildings.
And you guys were in LA?
We were in Inglewood, yeah, which is a part of LA, about 2 miles from LAX.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's some cool architecture.
Yeah, this is where we had lunch. We had the really cool Thai food. It was so good.
What'd you order?
I had curry. This curry was the bomb. So good. This is the Hollywood sign from a distance. And then there's another picture in here of the Hollywood sign closer. Oh, full callus pendulum. Check it. They do exist. Earth is round. Earth rotates. Another picture flying over a beach.
Someone is asking, why is there an observatory in LA? The light pollution would be horrible.
Because it wasn't that bad when it was built. But
good point.
Yeah. This is a donut shop that we were right by. We ordered. There's a street taco, we weren't street tacos, but there was a taco shop right next to that, and we ordered some tacos to take back to the hotel. Spicy as shit. We were not expecting it to be this freaking hot. It was like LA spicy. By the way, that shot was a water fountain that was hooked up to a fire hose. Did you catch that? On the street corner, there was a freaking water fountain hooked up to a fire hose.
That's funny.
Yeah, this was this is where we got our trying to get high from. It didn't fucking work. All it did was make me pass out, but whatever.
Well, I mean, that's technically working.
I don't know. I didn't seem to really do anything.
That made you pass out.
Other things maybe could have made me pass out too.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is another shot of the. Oh my! This was the best right there. I mean, this lady that took this picture was real nice.
Oh.
There's another shot of the Hollywood sign, and then another mural. Another flying over shot. Oh, there we go. Love this shot of the Hollywood sign. This was just perfect between the palm tree and there. And there you go. That was our vacation. That's LA.
Yay! It looks like you guys had a really good time.
Oh, everything went right. There was this is the first time I've ever taken out somebody that were literally nothing went wrong except her getting lost for the first 5 minutes because she got off the plane and she's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Right where you debark." And she's like, "Sure about that?" I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much."
If it makes you feel any better, that would absolutely be me. I would be like, if it were me, I would have gotten off the plane and been like, "Where the fuck am I? And where am I going?"
Well, I was waiting for her to say, "You know what? I'm here in San Francisco." I'm like, wrong airport. You're like 10,000, like 10 hours away.
Oops.
Yeah, oops.
I traveled to London. London, England. Shit.
Did somebody ask if we passed through any bad parts? Yeah, there were some areas that were not the best. The hotel we had was a nice hotel. I mean, really good hotel. I was very impressed by it. But right, the view that we had was basically tent city.
All right. So, do we want to do the Am I the Asshole and wrap her up?
Wrap it up.
All right. So, the title of this one's going to get you. Am I the asshole for asking my transsexual ex-wife to dress more appropriately? Here we go. My former husband, 42, came out as a transsexual woman last year. As a male, he had recently started to get into cross-dressing, but assured me it was just a fetish. So I was taken by surprise when he came out, as he was always very traditional masculine. He was always a very traditional masculine guy. She, now Laura, has not started HRT yet, but is living full-time as a woman. Laura and I no longer live together, but we share custody of my 10-year-old son. Ever since I moved out and Laura has started living on her own, she has started to dress in extreme clothing. She's gone from wearing relatively normal dresses and skirts to micro minis, fishnets, big heels, the full nines, and bold makeup too. Laura is a tall woman, 6'4" or so in the heels she is very visible, and this is what had brought about my current issue. I'm fine with what Laura wants to wear privately, but my son is having an extremely hard time with it, especially when it comes to her picking him up from school or taking him out for food. Recently, he had a breakdown over it and told me that it was so bad that he didn't even want to go to school anymore and that everyone knew him as the drag queen's son. I tried to talk about this privately to Laura, but she gave me the cold shoulder over the phone. My son asked me to come with him next meeting so we could bring it up together there. The moment she walked in, all eyes were on us because of what she was wearing. People were obviously listening in when I gently tried to bring up the topic and explain how our son was feeling. Laura became incredibly loud and angry over it and accused me of feeding my son lines because I was jealous of her confidence. To make matters worse, a table of nearby girls decided to join in and hurl abuse at me and tell me that I was a piece of shit for saying what I was. My son and I left in tears, but Laura didn't seem to give a single damn about how distraught he was and seems to just be loving all of the attention. Ever since then, I've been torn, wondering if my own personal feelings are getting in the way of things, and I was being a bad person for asking Laura to tone things down, especially given she felt she had to repress herself for so many years. I'm extremely shaken by having a group of complete strangers step in and wonder if I've gotten old and out of touch. It just breaks my heart to see my son becoming so withdrawn and upset over this. Am I the asshole for speaking to my ex in this way?
All right. Here's my view on this. No, not an asshole. And let me explain why. Let me give my reasoning.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Auntie and Sarah are both already in the chat being like answering. So you go ahead first.
Yeah, let me give
You
my view on it. As a parent,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
My analogy would be this. First, I want to embarrass my daughter, right? And I understand what that's like, right? You have to be at yourself second when it comes to your kids. And I'm sorry, your kids come first, and their well-being comes first. But if I showed up to pick her up from school and I was wearing just this time like tidy whities, right? Just underwear. That's it. Nothing else. Tidy whities. Very inappropriate to show up that way. But hey, my body, my choice. I can wear what the hell I want, right? But how is it affecting my daughter if I was to go pick her up wearing just whitey tidies, right? It'd be just so inappropriate across the board. Now, Laura can wear whatever the hell she wants when she's, out somewhere, right? But you're going to school to pick up your child, and your child at that point is being affected. There should be some consideration for that, and she should have enough regard for her child to say, I'm still going to dress like a woman, but I don't need to dress like going out to go prostitute on the street to go pick up my child. It's the same word as I'm not going to go pick up my child wearing crotchless leather chaps or something, There is reasons why there's certain social norms put in place because children are affected by these things, and we were all children at one time. Would you wanted your parents to come pick you up, to embarrass you?
Yeah.
No. So I'm gonna go with not. I'm gonna go with not the asshole. I think Laura needs to go talk to somebody. I think she needs.
Yeah,
to go help.
I think being trans has nothing to do.
Nothing to do with trans. Yeah.
I think that this is an issue of you're showing up at a school dressed inappropriately for a school.
Right.
And it's affecting your child. Now, I really wanted to address this because I figured we would have Sarah and Auntie in the chat. Both of them were like, no, Laura, hashtag fuck Laura. And there is another one in there.
So they both agree that it's over the top. It has nothing to do with her being trans. It's what I'm not trans, but I'm not going to wear underwear to go pick up my daughter. So what's the difference?
Well, they're saying that Laura is being selfish.
Yes, I agree with that. Very much so.
They're not considering their son or their son's feelings or their surrounding environment and how that's going to affect their child. And they're being a jerk in when people are trying to have a reasonable conversation with how this might not be appropriate and dragging other people in to back them up. This is weaponizing. This is weaponizing. This is bullying. You're bullying your ex-wife and you're bullying your child into it, so you can do whatever you want and completely ignore their feelings to the point where you made a big deal and a scene about this in public when they try to talk to you privately about it.
It's all about them. It's selfishness.
And pulling in other people that are going to back you up who have no idea about what the actual situation is, in my opinion.
No, I think we're all on the same page on this, actually, then. I mean, is there anybody out there that thinks that Laura is kind of in the right? Because I don't think she is in this particular.
Sarah makes a good point, too. Laura dressing like a hoe is weird, ... seems like a fetish. Well, they said at the beginning that it was a fetish for them.
Yeah, but again, when you go pick up your child, I know a lot of people in a BDSM, but you're going to, like somebody had pointed out, you're going to wear a gimp hat to go pick up your child? I mean, there's times and places that are appropriate to wear things and when not to. This is just how we operate as a society because we do take things into account, like the feelings of our children. I don't want to embarrass my child.
Well, yeah, and you also don't want to. Again, certain things are appropriate for certain settings.
Yes.
So I'm not going to. If I dressed the same way to the nines like that to pick up a child, I'm not dressed appropriately. Whether or not I'm trans is completely irrelevant. If I work at a business and my workplace is business casual and I show up dressed like this, I'm not dressed appropriately. My orientation or my transition or lack thereof is irrelevant, but this person is using their transition as a weapon against other people and to be selfish.
Are you ever going to tell people which way you're going, by the way? Your transition? Or is there going to be ambiguity there?
10 questions. 10 questions.
You're never going to know with her. So, stop asking.
Ask Russian vids. I'm sure his 20% accuracy on CGI will be able to let you know.
Sarah says that people that actually argue cross-dressing falls into trans, and I don't think that makes any sense.
Well, yeah, we're not sure about whether this person is actually fully going to transition or if they are just... Because they did say that they haven't started HRT yet.
Or may not want to. They might be cross-dressers. Cross-dressers and trans, to me, are completely different things.
Yeah,
I use the
and
terms
I think that's
differently.
fine.
I don't think cross-dressing falls under transgender. Now there might be people that argue that it does, but these are the people that probably does. They're thinking anybody who doesn't conform to any kind of norm is trans, and I don't think that really. Yeah, I think the way it takes from the actual uses of the term transgender to almost water it down to pretty much nothing. And the same way why I know Sarah argues that non-binaries shouldn't be trans. I know why Sarah argues for truth scumming. I get her position on it. I really do. And there's arguments to be had either way, or discussions at least. But I find that the people that are not willing to discuss it with Sarah are the ones that shut it down, saying, "Whether you don't agree with me, Sarah, you must be not just trans scum," which, by the way, isn't really pejorative to her, but you're also transphobic, which is just insanity. Yeah,
it's a hard conversation to have when you've got groups like the EOT crowd and the people who are trying to bully and shut down any dissenting opinions. Helios for 5 says, being trans doesn't excuse you from social norms, and a parent must always consider how their actions affect their kids. She is borderline gaslighting.
They all seem to run hand in hand. A lot of these mental positions, like gaslighting, projection, narcissism, egotism, all seem to run very concurrent with people I've noticed. Matter of fact, I would say 90% of every troll and bully that I run into all seem to have most of these qualities, or at least some of them, to say the least. Probably all of them. You'll notice patterns. Cases, but
you'll notice patterns. You'll notice again that they're all tactics, right? And these tactics work. Some of them work well on Twitter. When you're abusing the system and you have enough people that are just going to back you and false flag you, then that can be an effective tactic. The most effective tactic for this kind of bullying is to deplatform somebody.
Right.
Because other tactics like isolation don't work on Twitter.
Right.
Because that's just not how the platform works. It's a social platform.
Yeah, and if you isolate people and you block them, they just stay in their little circles and they try to talk shit, and they get 5 people like their thing. Go, oh, yes, I virtue signaled and 5 people liked it. Yay, you.
Yeah, that's why the best way to deal with false flagging is to actually report it as targeted harassment, because that's what it is. These people are actively trying to get somebody deplatformed, which is targeted harassment.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If you see that is a proper use of the system, whereas they are trying to abuse the system, and that's the difference. That's why one is acceptable and one isn't. You still shouldn't false flag people. If somebody's not actually doing that, then don't. There's nothing to flag. Don't abuse the system. But if you do see this targeted harassment happening, and it does happen, that's why Demi's off the platform right now. That's why Sarah's off the platform right now. That's why I'm off the platform right now.
I mean, I've been out too usually, but
yep.
But like I said, I'm going to be toning it back on Twitter. It's not going to be engaging as much. It's going to be more of just announcements and stuff. Unless I find somebody tags me, by the way, when they tag me on, they want to like philosophy or atheist agnostic stuff. Tag me, by the way. I'm happy to have those discussions to the day I'm dying. Yep. But for the most part, I'm not going to sit there and have discussions with these people that are running complete narrative about rape apologetics, or whether Sarah is transphobic, or I'm just not interested in any of that crap, to be honest with you. And all those people, they go bye-bye. They're just done. They let them have their fun. They're not harming anybody in their long run, except for when they actively try to target somebody. Then, like I said, call those people out, and I think that it's okay to report people that are actively calling for harm. I do, but other than that, and if
you're not comfortable.
But sorry.
Yeah, and if you're not comfortable calling them out, don't
get involved in them.
They're not worth it. Yeah, don't get involved.
Exactly.
I do want to quickly call out Wise Guy, who was in the chat on the live chat on Unirock's video, because I saw their avatar at the very beginning and it was Harley Quinn. So while I was catching up on Unirock's video, I was sketching out a Harley Quinn, and then later on in the live chat they said I wish that I would notice them, and I was like, oh well, that's convenient. And they said in this chat that they actually saw the picture, and I'm glad you saw it.
Nice.
That was just really funny to me. I was just like, oh, that's interesting. I called it ironic, and I admit that I am incorrect. That was not ironic. It was coincidental.
We're going to be, like I said, we're going to be catching up on things, so give us a little bit while to kind of make some plans. I got some catching up with Cheshire to do. It's going to be a slow month in October, and I've already warned people.
I got to go catch up on Patreon, and I got to catch up on Patreon, but now I also have to make Puck a wish list.
Yeah, I got some money coming to you for Puck, and also we're going to have an Amazon thing for this too, and some other stuff by next month.
We got a lot of stuff to work on.
But I'm still coming out of my vacation phase. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this court stuff to get a little more resolved in the next couple weeks, but we're managing. If you guys want to message me, do so on Twitter. That's gonna be my main thing for DM, not for twittering, like tagging me. But if you DM me, I'm gonna be responding to those more than I will be Facebook or.
And my DMs are open, so I'm pretty sure you guys can still message me, and I can message you back. I just can't tweet out publicly. So I'm pretty sure that in that case we're still fine. And before we go, please make sure you send me, and I'll put my email in the chat. Send me the quick clip of you saying, I am non sequitur. So just send that to my email, because I can't download things off of Twitter.
Oh, you're still doing that video, aren't you? I guess I got to do that for you too, which I'll do today. You want me to do it one too?
I did it wrong. I typed it wrong.
Do I need to make a clip for you too, or just is that for the fans?
If you want to.
I don't know. I don't know how you're utilizing it.
I mean, Kyle's gonna be in it.
Okay.
Yep. So make sure you send that to me. It's still open for about another week and a half still. So I'll keep it going as long as really that's necessary, but I want to try and have it done within a reasonable amount of time. Mr. P42 said, #Goblin Gobblers. Make it happen, Steve.
Trying. YouTube Surgeon General says, Steve, I'm so geeked about you winning the case and soon returning it. Me too. We're going to have to probably force him to turn it back over to me, but that's fine. I mean, he's going to try to clearly do this the hard way, but when he gets found in contempt and he goes, the only time he will see a judge is when it's under contempt, and if he gets some jail time out of that, that's his own making. He could make it very easy for himself or very difficult, but either way, this is a done deal. He has no recourse. The case is over. We've already filed an injunction such that when we filed it, he can't overturn it, and he would have to have literally a life or death situation that he couldn't respond, and that didn't happen. He's for all effective purposes is completely done.
So it can be audio or video. If you have, please give me some kind of video to go with it. So if it's just an avatar or if it's just a picture, that's fine. If it's a video of yourself, if you're comfortable with that, that is also fine. Both are acceptable.
Okay, well,
I got a scaled down version of T-Jump's chair.
I got. That is funny. I gotta tell you, Chesh, just left like you know.
I gotta sit like him.
I did miss you.
Aww.
A little bit of a love to you because you're my boy, so I appreciate it. And I missed everybody else too. Even though I loved my vacation, it felt weird being disconnected, but not in a bad way. I needed the break. I needed the away time from the internet. Like I said, I was only allowed to check certain messages. Yeah, that was cute. I watched that. By the way, buy a real cutting board. I'm afraid you're going to dull your knives.
Oh yeah.
YouTube Surgeon General says it's unfortunate that he hasn't reached out to negotiate with you. Well, you mentioned the lawyer after you said on stream you're willing to do so. Yeah, well, the lawyer is always willing to negotiate. But hey, if he wants to do it the hard way and end up in jail, it's his choice. I really, at this point, I have done all that I can. I've been up front. I've done everything that I've said I was going to do. I don't bluff. I have not over exaggerated. Everything I've said is out there in public and in court records. And when somebody just wants to be a complete dipshit and do things the hard way, they're allowed to do that. But it will always backfire and bite them in the ass. But yeah, let them set the pace. It's not affecting me any. It's going to affect them when they go to prison for 30 days for contempt of court.
Mr. P42 says the left foot is greater than the right foot. I also have a little bit of an update on my roommate situation. I managed to catch them while they were online, and they actually finally decided to respond to me. And essentially, the answer is that, we can pay you when money comes in, but are refusing to give me any kind of amount, any kind of time frame, and essentially saying, we'll pay you when we can, which obviously isn't good enough and isn't acceptable because that I just have to take their word for it, and they're refusing to communicate with me any further.
By the way, Chess,
that's the direction that's going.
Whether you're trans or not, you're trans in our heart. You're honorary trans.
Hey! Oh no! I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
She's one of them. One of them. Well, I'm not trans, but you're one of Sarah and Ao. You're in their club, so good company actually.
Am I part of
They've
the
accepted
token
you.
trans?
Yeah, you're.
Oh my god!
They've accepted you as a token trans. Are we now
the token trans triad?
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so
You have the honorary trainee token, which is kind of funny. You know, it's funny. Anna already gets, I guess YouTube, not YouTube, I guess Twitter, I guess, bitched to her for using the term trainee when she's referring to herself. And my view is this: you can call yourself anything you fucking want to call yourself. Now, how you use these terms with other people, that's problematic. If some people may be offended by the term trainee or not, but if you call yourself that, who the fuck is Twitter to say anything? That's like, you know, people use terminology to themselves as a way of claiming the negative stereotypes of some of these words. And I get that, and they're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Twitter should have no say in that, how you describe yourself. If you want to use the term to describe yourself, so be it. I mean, that's not Twitter's call. It's just not. So
the trans trinity.
The trans trinity, the TT.
This sounds like a band. if we're doing this, if we're ever in a situation where the three of us get to actually meet up at some point, we need to do like a photo shoot. 10 out of 10. I'm so excited.
10-10 would do again. That's by the way.
Yeah.
That's how Sweet described our vacation. 10-10 would do again.
10 out of 10 would do again. Aww.
I'm very
We'll
flattered.
do again.
We'll do again. Oh yeah, no, yeah,
we'll do again.
We are going to, her and I are going on vacation again. We're just deciding what, where, when, how, why, and where, you know, working out the details, but we've already planning another vacation. Which I guess would be technically our second date, maybe? I don't know, sort of. Yeah. What's
kinda?
terminology? Who gives a shit? As long as I'm
labels.
As long as she's next to me, I don't the hell care what people call it. I just enjoy being next to her and talking to her. Anyways, guys, welcome back to Caffeine Corner. We'll be doing these again 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time every Monday. This was an odd one because I was on traveling home from LAX yesterday, so today's Tuesday. But we'll be back to our regular schedule programming next week.
Monday, so it's even less time to the next Caffeine Corner. This time.
All right, Cheshire, anything you want to leave us with? Tickets out? Anything? Doing once?
No, get out of here.
Good night, guys, or morning, or whatever. Bye.